My fifth grade teacher was Mrs. Esther Cobb. Fifth grade was also at the Hancocksbridge School, but upstairs. So that made it kind of a unique building for me. I would say that Mrs. Cobb was definitely one of my favorite teachers, if not the favorite teacher. And I would like to think that as a teacher myself, I made learning as positive for my students as she did for us. She was, again, no nonsense. We were there to learn, but the classroom atmosphere was always positive and supportive. She had a wonderful sense of humor, and she often told us stories about her dog, Patrick Henry Aloysius Cobb. She did this thing where she would, I don't know what prompted it at different times, but she would kind of put her fingers in your hair and she would tell us she was looking for intelligence bumps. And of course we all had them. We all have these bumps on the back of our head. But I think it was her way of encouraging students and letting everybody feel that they really were smart and that they could learn. We went on several field trips that year, one being going to the Hancock House. Well, that, of course, was very exciting because we were going to go up in the attic, which we did, to see the blood stains where the Patriots were bayoneted by the English. I guess since then that story has been debunked. I think they tested the floorboards and found no traces of bloods, but what a legacy to lose to air conditioners. Another field trip was going to Valley Forge. That was a big deal because we actually rented a coach bus and went all the way to Pennsylvania. We also went to the Bridgeton Evening News to see how newspapers were printed, and to one of the local dairies, possibly the Hyersdale Dairy or maybe even Shoemaker in Cumberland County, I'm not sure. And we came home with a souvenir, which I think was a small milk bottle. One of our jobs in fifth grade was to go down the steps, and at the bottom of the steps every day there was a big carton, wooden carton, maybe about this big, with individual wooden dividers, and it had our bottles of milk in it for the day. These bottles were glass, as you can see, and they had a paper stopper. And you had to kind of pull that little tab up with your fingernail so that you could pop the cardboard stopper. So nobody had any concern as to whether or not we were going to fall down the stairs. It was two students' jobs to go down, get that milk carton, and bring it up the steps and then distribute it to the class. Our other jobs were cleaning erasers, which we all wanted to do because that meant we could go outside and breathe chalk dust. Again, NARFs were not even concerned then. And we got to wash the boards at the end of the day. I always liked doing that. And you could be a paper passer. I'm sure there were other jobs, but they're the ones that come to mind. So I put fifth grade might have been the year that we went to the State House in Trenton, but I looked up later and it turned out that that was in eighth grade. I know I'm a little ahead of myself, but and while we were there, I got to speak to the state legislature, so that was kind of a big deal.